1960s drug culture, but nationwide, smack is making a comeback.
Yeah.
13 Tiffany Jackson tells us tonight local agencies are working to combat the
you're promoting the fucking shit.
Invading Bay County.
Across the United States,
yeah, you're telling everybody about the fucking shit.
Heroin overdose deaths have quadrupled. You are very close to the end of your life cycle when you get on heroin. Northern states are in the middle of massive heroin epidemics, but the drug is making its way south to our community. We're, I think, one of the last areas to get hit with it. Hopefully it doesn't hit us as hard as it has hit other places, but we are seeing it now on our
indirect promotion.
Into the overdoses and the overdoses.
Tell everybody about it.
Officials link the heroin comeback to the nationwide crackdown on pill mills. The pills are still around, the oxycodone is still in demand, but the heroin is definitely here and creeping in on us.
Tell everybody about it.
Heroin-related calls are increasing. It's becoming a couple times a week, but the sheriff's office is just one agency. What seems bad to us, multiplied times 5 other agencies, could look a lot worse.
Law enforcement agencies aren't the only ones dealing with the heroin epidemic, as emergency rooms are also seeing an increase in patients with heroin-related complications.
Yeah.
Last week, I think we had 3 or 4 in here. 4 in 1 week is definitely more than we're accustomed to. It's usually probably, I don't know the numbers exactly, but maybe 1 or 2 a month.
Heroin is a drug that grabs a hold of its user quickly.
The issue with heroin is that it crosses the blood-brain barrier very quickly, so you get a super high within seconds.
And it doesn't let go. This is not a drug you can try. This is not a drug you can experiment with. It's not a party drug. It doesn't take much of this to become an addict, and you're going to go down a road that you never saw yourself down. You will give up everything you own. You will have to tend to this every single day of your life for the rest of your life. Users are intensifying the high and the danger. They have figured out how to make synthetic fentanyl and create fentanyl. So fentanyl is a 30 times stronger drug than heroin. They cut the heroin with the fentanyl, which makes it a lot more potent. When it gets to the point for addicts, when heroin isn't enough, the drug abuse becomes even more deadly.
Some of the folks we saw last week were essentially unconscious and would have died had they not received medical treatment, whereas in the past, had it not been laced with fentanyl, they may have just had their usual high.
In those situations, doctors are able to use an antidote called naloxone or Narcan to reverse the effects of heroin.
It works well and it works quickly, and essentially if they're able to get that drug in time, they're able to breathe again and their level of consciousness returns to normal and they're okay.
Without Narcan, Dr. Harris says overdose deaths would double. Then there are other complications.
Folks will come in with needles broken off in their arms. Those are difficult to remove and usually lead to significant infection. And then the other big ones mentioned would be blood-borne infection, in this case hepatitis, HIV.
Officials say they're seeing young adults,
20s and 30s usually,
but they fear teens could be next. This isn't marijuana, this isn't cocaine. This is something that will change your child's life forever. Reporting in Bay County, Tiffany Jackson, News 13.
Recently, a Bay County Substance Abuse Task Force is formed to help bring new resources for heroin and other drug abusers. But unfortunately, treatment options in our area are limited.
Tomorrow on News 13 this morning, our special report continues with a look at a new treatment program in Panama City.
Let's see now. Let's see. Who depends on the fucking heroin epidemic? Gee, I didn't know anything about it until I heard it on Channel 13, May 12, 2015. I wonder how many people didn't know about this so-called heroin epidemic until it was put on Channel 13 today, May 12, 2016. So, now we've got the treatment people. Got to keep them going. Let's see. Let's just run down a list right now. Let's see. I wonder how many people depend on it. The cops, do they depend on it? Do the investigators depend on it? Do the jails depend on it? The treatment facilities depend on it? The emergency Ambulance people depend on it. Man, and I'm wondering if Channel 13 got a kickback somehow or another. And gee whiz, why do they even tell people about an epidemic? I'm going to take conservatively, maybe WMBB Channel 13 may broadcast as many as maybe 100,000 people. That might be their range. Or maybe 30,000. So if there's, conservatively, 30,000 people are watching this show, watching TV, and 10% were to say, I think I'm just going to give it a try. That's 3,000 people right now that are going to go, whoa, man, I'm going to go see if I can find the latest fucking drug to get high on. Or what if it's just 1%? That's still 3,000 people. 3,000 motherfucking people. And if it's 100,000 and it's 10%, that'd be 10,000. And if it was 1% of 100,000, that would still be 1,000 people. So you got all these people. The jails, I wonder if do the jails depend on it? Do the so-called drug treatment centers, do they depend on it? And then in society, people are reinforced with, hey, you got to be happy all the time. Chase that happiness fucking drug. Instead of people being happy, what if they just decided to be thankful to their maker? Because the way I look at the happiness, that's a fucking drug. What's the happiness drug? Oh, I think I'll go out and get a beer and I'll get fucking drunk. Oh, let's see, I think I'll go see if I can score some pot so I can get high. Oh, I think I'll try the newest, latest drug that's out there. I'm bored. So how many people end up in the hospital? How many end up in jail? And how many end up in the graveyard? So it seems to me there's a huge fucking industry that depends on these fucking drugs. The prosecutors depend on it for prosecuting. The hospitals, God forgive me if I'm wrong on this, but it seems to me like the hospitals will take and the ambulance people will build the state. The jails will build the state on this fucking shit. So I can't understand why they don't just keep people ignorant about it, and instead of educating thousands of people that it's in the area now. And I can't help but thinking that Channel 13 and all the news people across the United States, I can't help but thinking there's some kind of strong incentive for them to tell people, watch out for this new drug. Hey, get a fucking bullhorn out and tell people, hey, the latest drug is coming to motherfucking town, man. And then you got these fucking boom cars that go up and down the road. Which I, for a good over 10 years, have done a one-man war calling the cops over and over. I probably hold the world's record for calling the cops over and over and over about these boom car punk motherfuckers going up and down the road. But then you see, the thing is, this is, the boom cars and the cops are actually partners in crime. That's right, boys and girls. They are partners in crime. Proof? There's a guy named Michael Dunn that's in jail for the rest of his life. He didn't wake up with fucking killing on his mind. He was an airplane pilot. He owned a company called Dunn & Dunn Software. He wasn't no fucking dummy. But now he's in jail for the rest of his life because the sheriff's department allowed a boom car punk motherfucker by the name of Jordan Davis, piece of shit motherfucker. Figured when Michael Dunn, his life changed in 3 minutes time. I'm going to say 3 minutes time. He was going to go back to his son's wedding in Jacksonville. And he was just going to get a party drink and come on back. What happened? You asked the boom car punk motherfucker, hey, can you turn down your music? No, this motherfucker figured he got a rat in the cage, so they decided to turn it up. And I watched the trial for a whole month. The Gate gas station where he was at in Jacksonville, Florida. Michael Dunn was clearly under entrapment. That's 777-201 of Florida statutes. I contacted Corey Strolla, who was the so-called a turnkey, and I gave him all the laws where Michael Dunn could have walked, where he was clearly entrapped. This is just proof right there. I've been thrown in jail 2003 because I tried to get a cop by the name of James Williams to do something about a boom car. I got thrown in fucking jail. And then 2011, I got thrown in jail fucking again. By the Bay County Sheriff's Department. A Scott Irvin piece of shit motherfucker. And then, January 2015, I had criminal charges put on me because I called the fucking Sheriff's Department, the Panama City idiot fucking clown part, over and over and over. Only trying to live in peace in my home. But see, the boom cars, they're the drug dealers. All they got to do is just go up to somebody and go, hey. All they got to do is stump a certain beat. Their customers know who they are. Once they give their drugs, a little bit of drugs away, people are hooked on them. It's very simple. So these boom car punks go up and down the road, violating hundreds of thousands of Americans their rights to live in peace. But then the cops, not only do they get to bust people with the drugs, they also get to arrest the innocent people who are responding to these boom car punk motherfuckers that cause them to be irritated. There's a guy that's over in Texas who's in jail for the rest of his life because he asked his neighbors to turn down their music where they would party. I think his name was Gonzalez, and it was in Texas. I think it was in Houston, Texas, or Austin. He's in jail for the rest of his life. See, noise is a perfect irritation device for the cops.